This is Charter Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance, and we are joined today by Dennis Michael. He is the mayor of Rancho Cucamonga. He is the incoming president of the League of California Cities. And sir, I don't mean to be a sycophant, but I have to be, because Victoria Gardens in Rancho Cucamonga, in my mind, is the best mall in the country, if not the world.
Well,
How did you do that?
You know, it was a team effort. We had a willing and wonderful developer, Forest City,
Right.
Who develops malls, not just here in the United States, but internationally. And they came up with a different concept of kind of an outdoor lifestyle center and not a shopping mall.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, God bless the groves of the world, which are also very appealing. But Victoria Gardens, truly you feel as if you are in a city, its own little city. And yes, there's lots of shopping around, but it's not obtrusive. I mean, you just feel like you're kind of in Americana. And I mean, I said this to you, you need to put a hotel there because Victoria Gardens needs to be a destination.
That will be in the long range plans.
Right.
We've got some areas that can be developed for such a facility.
Right.
And we're looking at envisioning maybe a hotel with a high-end restaurant on the
Sure.
top, so it has a view of the mountains and the valley.
And on top of it, across the street is Bass,
Pro Shops,
which
yes.
is extremely well known.
The first one ever to be built in California.
So I want to get a sense from you, and what our viewers may not know is Victoria Gardens is only about 10 years old.
Right.
So you were there. I mean, you
Right.
were part of that process. Did you realize what you were about to build when that went online, and did you realize the scope of it and the potential success of it?
You know, I think the thing that I could say that I think looking back in time
Right.
that we're most proud of as a city is our forefathers, my predecessors.
Right.
We always had that area for a shopping mall. And we had a lot of pressures over those years from developers that wanted to build housing. We said, no, this is going to be a shopping mall someday. And we waited and we waited and we waited, and then the opportunity presented itself.
So I know that behind Victoria Gardens, I'll call it behind the backside, there's some empty land.
Right.
And so I'm wondering, is that where my hotel goes? Because I'm waiting for the hotel to open, or is that where townhomes go? Or
There will be no, in fact, the city, when the builder that built
Right.
townhomes just west of there,
I know what you're talking about.
they put up the property for sale, and we acquired that property. The city did.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to work out as a partnership with Forest City.
Okay.
Something in that area. My guess is, kind of the plan is, because we're to do a lot of other things like hotels and maybe some housing, high-rise
use.
housing, mixed use. We live work kind of a thing.
Right. Right.
We're going to need a lot of parking, so we are holding that area for additional parking, probably ultimately parking structures.
Sure.
When it financially will make sense, because there's no question that we want to keep that region and that mall. And I won't even call it a mall, our lifestyle center. We want to keep it fresh. In fact, they're doing a facelift right now.
Right,
Forest City
I
is
saw
to
that.
freshen it up.
And it is a risk, because if you start to build too much, the area can become impacted. Traffic can become unbearable. And so it's smart that you're taking your time to make it work. We talk about traffic, and I want to talk about what's happening right now in Sacramento. And that is a special session focused upon two issues, but we'll focus on transportation.
Okay.
I had mentioned in January, interviewed the executive director of the League of California Cities.
Yes.
Chris McKenzie. In Sacramento. And he was talking about transportation and roads, and I thought, who's talking? No one's talking about this. Clearly, either he was prescient or the league had a plan, because now everyone's talking about it. I didn't realize how dramatic our needs are, and we're really focused on repairs. It's not even
building
building
new.
out.
No.
Tell me about it, sir.
Well, I think one of the things that the state has been challenged with is it's predominantly gas tax revenue that we utilize. And gas tax revenue is a dying revenue stream.
And
it's
let's
a
talk
shrinking
about that,
revenue stream.
because it's an interesting debate. It's shrinking because there's been no increase since the early 90s, and it's always tough to pass an increase. But another issue, and it's actually apropos for someone who lives in the Inland Empire, we have been pushing folks to cleaner vehicles, hybrids, electric vehicles. They commute from Rancho to Los Angeles, and it's great to have those fuel-efficient vehicles. Well, fuel-efficient means less gas, which means less gas tax.
Right.
So it's a perfect storm for less gas tax.
Exactly. And so, there's a lot of analysis going on. Our state has a committee that they've put together. Jim Madaffer, who was a former councilman for San Diego, is heading up that. And I just spoke with him at a conference we had down in Newport Beach, at a league conference, or league board meeting, excuse me. And he gave a presentation, and they're looking at some other form of revenue, be it vehicle miles traveled.
I want to ask you about that as well, because again, you are mayor of a city. I know you're going to be the president of the whole league, but right now you're mayor of the city where there's a lot of commuting done. A lot of commuting into Orange County, Riverside County, Los Angeles County, and under vehicle miles traveled, literally folks would be looking at the odometers and seeing how long you traveled. Now, privacy concerns aside, that will disproportionately impact folks that move to Rancho because they want a beautiful lifestyle. They can't, no aspersions intended, LA County real estate's expensive. And so is it really fair in your mind to look at that element?
I think whatever we do, we need to make sure that people that are using our roads, that are causing the deterioration, somehow, somewhere, maybe it's not vehicle miles traveled, maybe it's just a higher vehicle license fee for vehicles that are alternative fuel or electric vehicles.
And folks have talked about that maybe we need a surcharge on the Teslas of the world.
Right.
Because they're electric, they have zero, literally zero gas tax.
And I think another thing that we need to be recognized is that we know gasoline is a dwindling revenue source as far as tax goes. So do you keep taxing those that have the fossil fuel gasoline vehicles and keep raising that to a point where they no longer can really afford to drive? We're working in this county and San Bernardino County very, very aggressively with public transportation to give people alternatives on how they travel.
What about those fast passes, toll roads? I mean, is that another revenue source?
But that's usually, the toll roads are usually, is usually used, and I won't call them toll roads, whether our Orange County has some toll lanes. There's express lanes that you can get into and you can get out of. We like the idea in this county of express lanes where you have a choice to go in or stay out.
But can revenue be made from those?
Yes, but it's going to be usually centered around maintaining those express lanes.
I want to shift gears and talk about you. I know there's a lot of pride surrounding the fact that you will be the first president of the League of California Cities from San Bernardino County. We've had Ron Leverage from Riverside County, former Riverside mayor. How does it make you feel? I mean, I know you're just Dennis Michael, but you are a groundbreaker.
I believe when you get involved in local government in an elected capacity, my motivator is that get involved and try to do your best to make a difference.
Make it count.
And I'm a better leader in Rancho Cucamonga because of my understanding of regional and statewide and national issues.
Any specific goals as you enter your presidency?
We have a great organization in the League of California Cities. We have a great staff, and my philosophy is like I have my same philosophy with our city staff. They're the people that really get things done for you. So
bring back redevelopment.
We will be dealing with the state legislature. In fact, probably my greatest goal is to make sure that the state legislature does not continue to deteriorate the local city's ability to maintain local control.
His name is Dennis Michael, incoming president of the League of California Cities, mayor of Rancho Cucamonga. My name is Brad Pomerance in the Inland Empire. This is Charter Local Edition.